Alright. Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back. Greedfall II. Looks like we are live. We are a little early. So I'm just going to wait for you guys to trickle in. I still have the live chat yonder. Hopefully, once again, it's not too much in the way. If it is, feel free to complain to me about it. I'll take your complaints into thoughtful consideration if I want to. No, I'm kidding. I'll really think about it. This is for you. It's also for me, but it's for you. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this tonight. Anyway, good evening. Good evening. Like I said, we're a little early. I'm going to yap a little bit before we get started. Gonna buy some time to wait for people to trickle on in, as you will. Gorgeous music. So to drink tonight, I've got an amber bock in my wonderful Pints with Aquinas Stein, who has been doing some really fun interviews lately. I've especially liked the last couple with Michael Jones from Inspiring Philosophy. Who, by the way, incidentally, I know that he's been doing a lot of really good, honestly, some of the leading work in anti-Muslim apologetics lately. And before that, he's done a ton of good work on the cosmological arguments, even a little bit on the ontological arguments. In fact, I've actually assigned some of his videos for my classes on particularly on the modal ontological argument. He's got a great video on that. If you're having sort of trouble wrapping your mind around it, which, to be fair, it's a modal. It relies on complex modal logic. This is Plantinga's version of the ontological argument. So yeah, you're gonna have some trouble wrapping your mind around it. That said, with the help of his video, I've had undergraduate students who had an easier time understanding Plantinga's modal ontological argument than understanding Anselm's original ontological argument, which is really something, because I tend to think that Anselm's is relatively straightforward. But maybe that's me. Maybe that's me as sort of a scholastic philosopher in general, and an Anselmian in particular, a big fan of Anselm, and one who studies him extensively. And so, maybe that's why it's intuitive to me. But in any case, I tend to think that the modal version of the argument is a lot more complicated, but with Inspiring Philosophy's help, again, I've had students who've gotten a much better and more intuitive grasp on the modal version than Anselm's traditional ontological argument. Let's jump in. I'm not really going to advance anything yet. I'm just going to kind of look around the nice environments for a bit while I continue to yap. It is only 9, so anyway. As I was saying, though, yeah, his great little talk. The last couple of interviews on Pints with Aquinas have been very good. Again, laser focusing on anti-Islamic apologetics, which has really been his sort of pet project lately. Which I do think has tremendous value. Hey, hold on. Who hangs that portrait in the foyer of your embassy? Oh Lord, how? Why evil? Why? That seems. Oops. Why? Why would you do that? That seems menacing. Oops. Sorry, hold on. There we go. There. Now I can see the chat. Move things around. Citizen of Dewton.
Someone told me about your island. They say it's a wonderful place. You're lucky.
No, I'm here. I'm not lucky. Oh, it's St. Matthias. Anyway, the thing I was going to originally say about inspiring philosophy is that is still not, like, despite all of that being his tremendous focus and him doing a lot of great work on an array of apologetic subjects, my favorite video of his is still his audiobook recording, I guess you'd call it, but also with visuals added, some really great visuals and music added, of C.S. Lewis's essay Man or Rabbit from God in the Dock. I love that essay for so many reasons. There's so much brilliant about it. I believe I've got a video about it, which I'll put in the description if I think of it at some point. At least I think I do. If I don't, maybe I should. Anyway, I will say, on one of my upcoming episodes of the Stupid Little Podcast, I am at least going to be referencing a key argument from Man or Rabbit. So, again, it's worth looking into. It's worth checking out. It's worth refamiliarizing yourself with it. Or if you haven't read it before or seen the video version of it before, you should check it out. It's one of the better. It's one of C.S. Lewis's best short essays. He wrote a lot of essays, and a lot of them are too niche, or they sort of retread old ground, or they're things that he has discussed far better elsewhere, or all sorts of things, right? But Man or Rabbit, he really tackles an array of subjects. They're all closely interrelated, and that he does so in a really profound and unique manner that doesn't really show up elsewhere. So, anyway, it's a great essay. And the version of it on Inspiring Philosophy's channel, which again is very, very old at this point, something like, I think it was from like 2012 or 13 or something like that. It's really, really good. Really good. Highly recommended. Like I said, I am probably going to talk a little bit about the essay in excuse me, in a forthcoming episode of my Stupid Little Podcast. So there you go. Also, in my nice Roman baths at Bath mug, I've got a nice coffee, a nice French roast with some white chocolate. That'll help with yawning, hopefully. Anyway, so that's some of the things coming up. Let us go. Let us continue. Let us advance, shall we? If it will let us. I'm not 100% sure whether we're allowed in here. Are we allowed in here? We shouldn't be allowed in here, because we're just, looting the place. But no one has told us not to be in here. So I guess, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the coins that are stashed away in the kitchen. That's not normal. And look around.
You're having a nice day.
Why are you sitting like that? And why are you standing on the couch? Okay. Women, am I right? Anyway, sorry. Not to be a misogynist, but anyway, sorry. All right, let's continue. Let's go upstairs.
The texts of St. Lucius are fascinating. You should read them.
Okay. Sounds good. I'd like to. May I, please? You have them on hand for me to read them. Some of these in the library. Or is my poor native simply illiterate? Oh! Ah! There's a little chapel. Some money! So out of place. It's weird that he is preaching, but no sounds are coming out. I kind of wish that they had gone all or nothing here, but... oh well. It's neat little ambience. The thing is, the ambience of it almost reminds me of like the ambience you'd find in an MMO, where there's that NPC on a repeating cycle who's over there in the corner, where you're supposed to be doing important things with other players and with quest givers and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Maybe. All right, let's advance this show. Ah,
allow me to introduce to you the friends to whom I owe my freedom and life today.
My children, it is a pleasure and an honor to meet you. I could never repay you for helping Fausta escape from the Alliance's jails and bringing her back to me.
Cardinal, we are also honored to meet you.
Fausta told me about the sufferings of your people at the hands of our enemies, and what they have already done to you. Under the guise of civilization, these people behave like monsters, and you have all my compassion. As you know, our two nations have been at war for centuries. We should join forces against this common enemy.
I'm gonna make this
Indeed,
work.
I have heard of it. There has even been fighting between your troops and those of the Alliance on our island.
Exactly. From Tyr Pradee to the plains of Duton, a trail of blood and anger has been wreaked by our two nations.
Collar got caught. Let's see.
Know that in any case, I will do everything in my power to aid you in your trials. But you must have questions or requests. Fausta told me that you had a run-in with the people from the Alliance in front of one of the guards' pleasure houses.
That's correct. She likely told you that the men were looking for a spy from Teleme. They were about to kidnap a young woman in the hopes that she would reveal secrets she might be privy to. The spy was a close acquaintance, or a regular customer in any case.
Thank you. It is quite a troubling matter. Could you tell me more? What has become of the woman?
I mean, I might as well just tell him. Why would I not? What do you think? Can I pull this off? Can I pull off this look? Anyway, hi Impsimp, if you are here. If you're popping in and out, hello. But you're not out. I'm gonna fix this. I can't do this. I cannot pull it off. I don't think I can. But no, the guy's facial hair is... Look at that! Look at that! I'm sorry. Okay, Erica says he sounds so untrustworthy. I'm sorry, I wasn't... I was just distracted by the beard mustache. Like, look! He does kind of. He's kind of slimy. He's kind of a slimy guy. And he is fishing for information that may lead to diplomatic incidents and whatnot. But at the same time, I am nothing if not an anti-Bridge Alliance partisan. Both me and Vridengar and I are both vehement and strong anti-Bridge Alliance partisans. So, I think we're going to antagonize. Anyway, hello, no thanks. I'm not actually familiar with the Moloch paradox. He says, or like nuclear proliferation, always better for the individual, worse for everyone. So I'm not necessarily convinced that nuclear proliferation is worse for everyone. Nuclear exchange is, and it's also not worse. Nuclear exchange is not better for anyone in particular. But nuclear proliferation is nothing but a high-stakes game of chicken, controlled by the most foolhardy and reckless people in the world. That's what it is. Because, people in charge of governments are almost always necessarily going to be extremely high time preference and generally pretty unhinged people, and they're the ones with all the big red buttons. So if nuclear proliferation upsets me or unsettles me or leads me to quake with fear at all, that's why. That's why. Like, of all the people in the world, or at least let's limit it to the US, of all the people in the US who I trust least to have the power to blow up the world, a lot of those people already have some measure of that power. Well, that's unsettling. I mean, sure, Donald Trump could probably unilaterally blow up the world, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised he hasn't by this point. But hey, he's got his merits. Joe Biden didn't know what that big red button did half the time, so I'm honestly shocked that he didn't press it. Barack Obama absolutely loved hearing the screams of melting brown children, so why would he not? George W. Bush, there is a lot of sand N-words over there for him to turn into glass, so again, I'm surprised he didn't. So again, the kinds of people who have access to nuclear arsenals, that's the big problem. Right? That's the biggest problem. The problem is governments. The problem is not the weapons that governments possess. The weapons governments possess just exacerbate existing problems. They would be bad enough without the capability of literally destroying all life on Earth. Anyway, there's my take on nuclear proliferation. A bit of an off-the-wall take, but there it is. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So the Moloch paradox is where the individual choice in game theory is clear, but the overall effect ends up worse. That is a lot of the cases of what game theory has been meant to study. Right? A standard prisoner's dilemma works out like that. Like a prisoner's dilemma, ideally both people would benefit by not betraying, by what's the term, holding? But each individual benefits necessarily. It is oh, I forget the term. Now. It's optimal to betray for both individuals. So everyone's screwed. It makes everything worse for everybody. There's a lot of cases like that, yeah. Moloch effect. Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with the term. I'm not super well read on game theory, honestly. But you can apply it to other things I am a little more familiar with, things like moral hazard and other such incentive problems, which I think is strictly dominant. There you go. Yeah, so, I mean, for example, seatbelts. This is a weird one, but this is a, hi Grace. This is an instance of a moral hazard. Something that subtly and psychologically incentivizes destructive behavior. So why do you wear a seatbelt? Well, it's so that you don't so you don't injure yourself as badly in the instance that you do get in a collision, in a crash. However, wearing a seatbelt incentivizes you to drive marginally more recklessly, and in the aggregate, that causes a significantly increased risk of traffic collisions. Like, seatbelt laws have a demonstrably positive impact on traffic accidents. However, it reduces the number of driver and passenger casualties, while making up for it with an increase, roughly corresponding increase in pedestrian and cyclist and motorcyclist deaths and severe injuries. So seatbelt laws don't actually save anybody; they just transfer the number of deaths away from car drivers and passengers and towards pedestrians and cyclists. Again, this is borne out statistically, but again, the point of this is that you wear a seatbelt to secure your own, again, marginal safety at the marginal expense of the safety of others. If everybody's going to do it, then everybody is very slightly worse off. Although, again, it's statistically kind of a wash, so maybe not a perfect example, but you get the idea. Ah, great, so you can actually read chat off computer screen. Nice. Well, I mean, I'll let you know, ImpSimp he already mentioned up there a little ways, that he's going to be, if anything, popping in and out, so you may not see anything from him either way. Anyway, no, I'm gonna steer straight into the skid, because, like I said, absolute strong partisan against the Bridge Alliance.
The young woman is safe, though she had quite the fright. We were able to convince the men of the Alliance that their information was false. I do not think that they will return.
I hope what you say is true, but I do not trust these people. All it takes is a simple rumor, and there's a great chance they'll come looking for the poor thing. It would certainly be better to place her somewhere safe, and to learn what we can about our spy. Because I fear that the man the Alliance was after may well be a priest working here in Peren.
The only priest that I know susceptible to have a liaison with a prostitute would be Jacquemus. Has he brought trouble on himself again?
It would appear so. I know that you do not care much for him, Fausta, but he is one of us. And I'm worried for him. It has been
I'm so distracted by the facial hair.
I've heard from him, even though we were supposed to see each other. I was beginning to think that he finally got his throat slit in some dark alley by some procurer of ladies of the night. But since you told me that the Alliance is looking for a spy from Thélème in a brothel, I would like for you to find him, if you would be so kind. He's a priest with an overly developed penchant for the flesh, but he most certainly does not deserve to be killed because he's been mistaken for a spy. Oh, now let's talk more about this young woman. I promise to see to her safety. I believe I have the solution the situation requires. There is an escort who is waiting for a delegation of diplomats who must return to Thélème, past the eastern gate out of the city. If you manage to bring the girl to them, the guards will protect her. And as soon as the diplomats join them, she can travel with them away from here. She will be safe in Thélème. The Alliance would never set foot there. Of course, I trust you will question her during your journey. She might know where Jacquemus can be found.
Interesting. I like his voice. He's got such a nice, smooth cadence when I'm not being distracted by his beard thing. Okay, yeah, no thanks brings up a comparison to a tragedy of the commons. I think there's a lot of overlap there, frankly. Something that every individual is incentivized to do, but in doing so, is to the detriment of everybody else. I think that a tragedy of the commons is the same kind of problem. Right? Everyone is incentivized to pick, say, a great example of tragedy of the commons that I'm familiar with is public fruit trees. Right? So there have been a lot of cities that have tried to plant fruit trees in cities, like in public, like on public sidewalks kind of thing. And none of them ever produce fruit. At least not ripe fruit. Because everyone has the incentive to pick the fruit as soon as they possibly can. Because otherwise somebody else will. And somebody almost necessarily, but realistically, somebody else will before the fruit is ripe. So you cannot wait until the fruit is ripe. You have to pick it. You have to pick it before it's ripe. So by picking it before it's ripe, you get an underripe fruit, which isn't that great. And everybody else gets nothing. So what you're doing is you're making everything worse off, not only for everybody else, but for yourself. But it's a marginal improvement over nothing. Right? And so again, it's a fascinating case of a tragedy of the commons that again, it's an incentive problem that leads to everyone making what is strictly a rational decision. But one which is to the detriment of everybody else, and even to some extent to oneself. Or at least to one's own long-term detriment. No thanks, that's not quite true. You say everyone is incentivized to not return the cart. No, not actually true. One person in particular is incentivized to return the cart. It's the person who's paid to do it. Because they have a comparative advantage in returning the shopping cart, because presumably this is a low-skilled worker. This is somebody who has whose productivity in other areas would be outcompeted by other workers, even within a sort of grocery store context. Right? And so their set task, which they're sort of optimized for, at least in the grocery store environment, is to return the shopping carts. Right? And so they're incentivized to do it, so they're being paid for it. It is of benefit to them, because they're getting paid for it. They're being paid more than they value their time and their effort. So it's mutually beneficial between them and the store owner. This doesn't strictly benefit the store owner, but it does provide the benefit of having a parking lot, clear of shopping carts, which is a benefit to the customers, and the additional benefit to the customers of them not having to worry about returning the shopping carts and not having to talk about this on the internet. So that's a hell of a service that is provided by the joint effort between the store owner or whatever and the guy paid to return the shopping carts. That means that we don't have to talk about this stupid dilemma anymore. Anyway, do I otherwise recommend not returning the shopping cart? I think all other things equal, you should, but all other things are never equal. And so for most people, under most circumstances, it does not benefit anyone for you to return the shopping cart. And in fact, it is a net detriment to yourself and a lot of the people you have concrete obligations to spend the time and effort to return the shopping cart. So no, I think that most people most of the time probably should not. But there are narrow circumstances in which it is a slight supererogatory good to do so. The Clinica Stadium. Interesting parallel case. I think there might be substantial differences there. Right? Because the capacity to clean up after yourself requires far less going out of your way than returning the shopping cart. And there's far less disincentive, at least for most people. I think that there are some people, under some circumstances in the stadium, where it would be strictly preferable for them and for others to leave their trash in place. Right? Suppose that you're, wrangling 5 kids. And unless I can get my kids to each pick up the piece of trash or whatever, I have far higher priorities than picking up the discarded soda lid or whatever. That said, if it is on the way between my seat and my seat goes, I'm going that way from my seat towards the aisle, which towards the parking lot, and the trash can is at the end of the aisle, or at the end of the aisle and back, or whatever, it's on the way, and so there's nearly no disincentive to do so. It is almost costless, which is what people are trying to get across with the shopping cart problem, but never actually does, because it isn't costless. Maybe it's beneficial, it's better for more people to clean up after themselves, and maybe even their neighbors, in a stadium, than it is to return the shopping cart. Like I said, there are some people for whom it is a supererogatory good to return the shopping cart. Just like there are some people for whom it is a supererogatory good to clean up after themselves and maybe even their neighbors in a stadium. And maybe that number is higher. Maybe that's good for more people comparatively. So yeah, I think that maybe that's plausible. Also, I will say, in terms of comparative advantage, cleaning a stadium is a somewhat higher skilled task, a somewhat more dangerous task, and a somewhat larger task than returning shopping carts. And so paying somebody to do so is a higher value service. Instinctively, I want to say that makes it so that there's a smaller comparative advantage between the person who's paid to clean and you, the audience member. So it's not outweighed as easily. That's the point there. Would I rather live in a society where nobody returns the card or where most people do? Nobody. Hands down. Easy. Easy. I would rather live, if those are the options, I would rather live in a society where nobody returns the shopping cart. 100%. Easy choice. Mainly because the marginal opportunity costs of doing so will necessarily have spillover effects. And on the aggregate, like on a population level, that's going to make a lot of differences to a lot of people in the long run. Those extra few minutes are going to cause small problems at home. And the society would be far better off without those small problems happening within families. The difficulty of elderly people returning their shopping carts and the potential danger of them getting hurt in the parking lot, that's going to have marginal effects that on a population level are going to make a significant difference. Right? All of these things add up at a population level. So absolutely, I would rather live in a society where no one does rather than where most people do. Because if most people do, enough people are going to have a negative outcome from it in some way or another. Even if it's a small negative outcome, enough people are going to have a negative outcome from it that society, I think, would be on net far better off if no one did than if most people did. Now, maybe we can say that there's a middle ground there where the right people under the right circumstances return the shopping cart. Because again, there are still losses in the in my preferred case. Also, because some people are under some circumstances. Maybe it's better for me to return the shopping cart. For example, I actually use this example. If I'm shopping with the whole family, right, and say there's a cart return like across the aisle, it's like 10-20 feet that way, and my wife is still getting the kids into the car, and I don't have a particular task to do in this process because she's already helping, she's reaching in and buckling kids and stuff, and I'm otherwise just sort of standing there. Well, have no disincentive to return the shopping cart, and so it is a pure supererogatory good, so I might as well do so. But again, those are narrow circumstances. Does anything overrule efficiency? Yeah. Yeah, but not when you're talking about, would I rather live in a society? Because when we're talking about, and I don't even just mean efficiency. I mean, even in terms of virtue. Let's think of this in terms of virtue. If I'm shopping by myself, for example, I have competing ends. Right? I have the one end of the very slight supererogatory good of returning the shopping cart, which would benefit strangers. Maybe. Very marginally benefit strangers. Or I have the competing good of getting home to my family with the ice cream still frozen. That is a more important good for me to focus on. I, as a husband, father, man, whatever, it would be more virtuous of me to focus on those more important obligations rather than this additional supererogatory good. And so if more people think about what am I doing right now? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Rather than getting distracted by, oh, here's something nice I could do that might or might not benefit one complete stranger at some point. Again, focusing on what is within your sphere of influence is a virtue. So even from a virtue standpoint, even from the standpoint of the character of the people involved in their development, their moral development, I would say that people not returning the shopping cart at least can be morally beneficial. Now, it could just be laziness, and people could just be lazy, and that's not morally beneficial, and so I'd rather people not be lazy. But again, it could go either way. It could certainly go either way. I would prefer it to go the former way rather than the latter, lazy way. That's not efficiency, though. The virtue is the concrete and particular obligations that I have to prioritize those. Right. I have particular and concrete obligations rather than getting simply distracted by broader or even imagined goods. It's like a great example of this is who was it? Rousseau. That's it. Rousseau. Rousseau was first and foremost an ethicist, but he also abandoned his family. He neglected the responsibilities that he had in particular in favor of broad social change, theoretical speculation, and writing letters to correspondents across the world. That is a neglect of his particular duties, and it was a display of vice. A tremendous display of vice. And I think that that what we've been talking about is that on a much, much, much smaller scale. Again, it's another thing worth noting. Actually, let me write this down. Because this is something that virtue ethics focuses on and does a really good job at, which is to focus on the little choices that we make and the moral significance of those choices, because those are the choices that shape our character moving forward. And so these tiny little choices might not have a big impact on the world around us, but they do have a cumulative impact on our own moral development, our own souls. And we have a responsibility to shape and form our own virtue. And that is a tiny step-by-step little process. And this is one of those kinds of decisions that we can make. See, the thing, I've talked about shopping cart theory a lot. I honestly should just compile. That's what I can do. Yes, I have a lot of plans for other podcasts. Gosh, do I. But that's one I could do relatively shortly. Is compile a bunch of the things that I've said about shopping cart theory and put it together into something like a podcast. It's a topic that I'm always fascinated by. So, you know, it'd be good to put all my thoughts in one place. Anyway, maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be next week. Anyway, let's look into the details of this situation, shall we?
Can you reassure us that this young woman will be in safe hands with your men?
I see what is bothering you.
Do you know?
Soldiers can be rather uncouth, especially if they were to learn the trade of this young woman. But I assure you that they will do her no harm. They all fear the enlightened, and also my wrath. One thing is certain, she'll be safer under my protection than under the threat of the Alliance.
I still dig his voice. All right. I'm taking the young woman to the city gate, right?
Could you remind me where you would
Just let me
like
make
us
sure.
to take her?
The escort can be found outside the eastern gate,
Eastern
near
gate,
the
okay.
city. If you're not familiar with the place, one of your companions could surely lead you there.
Like Fausta?
Should we be prepared to meet armed foes?
If the men of the Alliance are as violent and determined as you said, it's probable that they'll seize any opportunity to stop
great.
you.
Escort
I
mission.
advise you to prepare yourselves for the worst. If you seek peace, prepare for war.
We have no more
Wise.
questions. I feel I need to inform you that we found ourselves involved in an altercation between men from the Alliance and the Guards.
Nothing serious, I hope. But what makes you think that this altercation might concern me?
The men were looking for a spy from Teleme.
Oh, I already said
We
this.
imagine, of course, that
Thank you. It is quite a troubling...
Oh no, come
the
on.
young woman is... We...
I...
Okay.
We have no more...
Whoops. All right. We'll come back to this. We need to do him a favor first.
We shall leave, Your Excellency.
May the enlightened watch over you, my children.
I don't know. Yeah, the guy seems kind of sketchy. I kind of have to admit that. But also, his voice is rich, and his facial hair is fascinating.
Sometimes I miss the hills of Teleme as well as the towers of Montorga.
Montorga, huh? That's somewhere we haven't heard of yet. Right. It was nighttime when we came in here. All right.
Forgive me,
Let's see here. Vespasia Square. Undiscovered. Yeah, you get the women in the brothel, right? That's... Where was the brothel? Was it by the Coin Tavern? Gotta be over here, right? Where was it? Through here, right? Yes, I think. Looks a little different during the day. Uh-huh, yeah. Okay.
Ah, you're back. What can I do for you?
Actually, we're the ones who would like to offer our help. We can get Irene to safety. We've thought about it, and it's the only solution if you want to make sure she's safe from the Alliance's clutches. It just so happens that we're looking for a missing priest. If Irene can tell us what she knows about him, we can make sure she gets to safety.
That seems like a fair enough bargain. If you can assure me that Irene will be safe from those brutes. What do you say, kid?
Where will you take me?
We could take her to safety aboard the Constancia. At least until we can find her a safe place to call home.
That sounds like a good solution.
Why not to the
What
guards?
do you think, Irene?
What a nightmare. I never imagined I'd have to flee the city like this. But I suppose it's the best thing to do. If you promise to get me there safely, then I agree. And once I'm safe,
Why the Constancia?
I'll tell you everything I know about my client.
Then that's that. Do you want to leave now?
Yeah, okay.
If you're ready, we'd better leave now. It's not a good idea to hang around here.
I'll go gather a few things and say goodbye to the other girls, and then we can leave.
Don't worry your pretty little head, darling. You'll be safe soon, and your friends will be too.
Great. We'll head to the port.
Is
Not
it?
far.
Is it
Be
just
careful on
me,
the
or is it a
road.
little
Watch out for
strange
those
that the whores are
Alliance
wearing
men.
pants?
They may try to waylay you. And take care of yourself, Irene.
Goodbye.
Like, rather than dresses, I mean, specifically. Okay, we are going to the Constancia. So, which seems weird, but whatever. You look sketchy. No, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Which I think I do.
I've never boarded a ship before. Won't I be something of a nuisance?
Yeah.
Of course not, my dear. My friend Alvida owns an enormous ship. It could transport an army.
No, no.
I am certain she'll find a comfortable cabin for you.
It's very kind of you to help me this way. In any
Also,
case.
no.
Thank you.
There are two
I'm not
cabins.
accustomed to people doing favours without expecting something in
I
return.
don't know if I don't think she can have
You can
mine.
thank us when you're on board.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Not there yet.
Whoops. I made a mistake. Go after this guy. Oh, Fausta didn't come with me. That's going to be an issue. Okay. Ah! Ludwig, go ahead and take everyone's damage for a second, yeah? And then sweep the legs. Sybil is marked or something, I don't know. Let's reinforce. Roar of Death again. Then heal myself a bit. And then we'll finish off this doggo. Then we'll finish off this doggo. Woo! Nice. Yeah, you'll be fine. Okay. Well then. Was that it? Not that that wasn't enough. I'm not complaining, but still. Huh.
I'm a guard, not a tour guide.
Wait, where did Sybil go? Oh god. Okay, great. All together now. Hey, we made it around those guys. Convenient.
Thank
Love
you
it.
for taking me on your ship. It's
Swordsman's
extremely
cloak.
kind
What
of
is
all of you.
that?
Now that you are safe, what can you tell us about this priest who was your client?
Okay.
Jackamus? A
Jackamus.
charmer. A gift with words. But I loved him despite all of that.
Despite?
I don't know
They sound
what
like
he was
positive
up to in the
traits.
city, but I knew that his only mission was not to spread the good word to Beren. He was dipping his toes into dangerous matters. He would brag about it, thinking that made him interesting. Imbecile. But I imagine what interests you is where he might be found currently, no? Once, he told me that if he ever had to disappear, he would go and hide in the hospice in the old boroughs. That is all that I know. I hope you do find him. Could you give him this letter from me when you do?
Consider it done. Safe travels all the way to Teleme.
Thank you. I will write to you when I've settled in.
Now that
Well, my dear why am I reading this? This seems inappropriate. My dear Jackamus, the time's come for me to bid you farewell. It seems that you've got yourself into some murky business, and so have I. However, I can't help but feel a fondness for you, and I must admit I will miss your colourful stories. Farewell, your favourite Irene. Well, why don't we just take him, too? Like,
Irene
we
is
could
safe.
do that.
We only need to find our priest.
Yes, our priest who would naturally choose the worst neighborhood to hide in. The old boroughs, a thief-infested pile of rubble.
Oh. Okay, so
Yes? Do you want something?
Why are there citizens of Dutton here? Shouldn't this be citizens of the congregation? Horan is part of the congregation of merchants, isn't it? Oh, not this way. This is where there is Malachor. Wait a minute. I need to reorganize my party, don't I? Can I do that here? No, I don't think I can do that here without returning the ship and coming back. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I do have a cape. Let's do mechanisms. Quite cool. He's gonna wear that. Wear that. For now, at least. Imperialists are still hostile. That is weird. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get the Bridge Alliance to be hostile. Alright. Alright, moving on. Let's keep going. Question is, do I want to go up there? Oh no, that's Vespasius Square. I want to go this way. Huh. This does look kind of awful. Is it awful due to the Malachor, or is it just awful because it's how it is? That part of town. Please.
Are you having a nice day?
Yeah, relatively. I don't know why that beggar didn't just pick up those gold coins, but whatever. It's fine. Information board. Let's see what that is. I assume it's quests, right? MC News, dear citizens of the Bridge Alliance, we wish to inform you of the temporary closure of our embassy. Your devoted ambassador has been dispatched to diplomatic missions to Exantus. Oh? For any urgent matters, please contact Mr. Darrell at De Vespe Palace. So, we kind of exiled her. If she comes back here, she's definitely going to be a thorn in our side.
I told you, the money isn't mine to give. These donations are for a mission to assist the...
Oh boy.
What's going on here? Leave this man alone.
What's it to you? Think you're some kind of hero?
Lace.
Get out of here, unless you're looking for a beating.
A lace collar.
There are 5 of us and we're well armed. Are you sure you want to fight?
There are not 5 of us.
They seem to really care about their monk. Fine.
Monk?
We're
Holy
leaving.
man? Okay.
Come
Hi,
on,
Bates.
let's go.
How are you? Ah, you got your
Find
copy of
another
Galahad the
monk
Grail.
who doesn't have so many bodyguards.
Are you all right?
Already getting misty at 3 pages in. Yeah,
thanks to you.
yeah. It gets that way.
Thank you for stepping in.
It was our pleasure. But be careful. Walking around alone with a big purse full of money is never a good idea in Peren.
Well, we'll be on our way. But be more careful in the future.
Yes, you're right. Thank you. And goodbye.
Oh, so, what are these guys? That seems sketchy. Grace, you just missed a, more shopping cart discourse. More shopping cart theory discourse. It's stuff that I may, recompile, maybe with some other things, into a podcast episode sometime nearish future. So, don't fear that you've missed out on too very much. As far as Galahad and the Grail goes, I absolutely love it. I'm almost done with it, actually. I'm on the last, section. The last book. Not the last stave, though, I don't think. Alright, let's go. Old Town. That looks not great. That looks Romanesque. Oh, Grace, I'm not going to get back into it. I'm not. You cannot compel me to get back into it at this point. It's a thought experiment about whether you should return the shopping cart when you go shopping at the store. And I was arguing, rather counterintuitively, I suppose, that no, it is, at least under most circumstances, it is not the right decision to return the shopping cart. I'm not going to break in there because there's angry dogs and they're sitting right there. They're going to come and bite my throat. Same with back here. Alright, well, maybe I can come back here someday. Who knows? Nice fountain, though. In the middle of the city. Where does the water come from?
That big building over there, the one with the towers. That's where we've got to go.
That's right. We should take the street that goes under the arch on the right to get there. It will take a bit longer, but the alleys in this neighborhood are dodgy and full of rubble. We could run into some unsavory characters there. Or worse yet, get our clothes dirty.
Are you sure this street will take us there? It seems to be heading in the opposite direction.
This alley on the left looks like it would take us there more directly, but it feels like a trap.
I see.
A coin for food? Out of the goodness of your heart.
Why don't you just rob things like this? Huh. Red Lion Regiment Gambison. Corpses dead from Malachor. Definitely best not to touch those. Alright, this will get us there directly. But Sybil suggests that we take the other way onto the arch. That arch? That cannot possibly be right. Yeah, the little coin return things have multiple different incentive purposes that I think are actually it's quite inventive. Aldi is the big company that does it, at least in the U.S. I think it is more of a European thing, frankly, than an American thing, because Aldi is a European company, German specifically. And like I said, it's the only one, it's the only chain I know of that does that, at least universally. But the idea there is a couple-fold. It's one, to disincentivize people from just leaving their carts. And so people will return their carts instead of the store having to pay somebody specifically to do it. But also, it allows customers to make an informed decision whether it's worth it, whether it's worth 25 cents to return their shopping cart. Because what you're essentially doing if you don't return your cart is you're paying someone else. What in the world? Okay. You're paying somebody else 25 cents to return your shopping cart for you. And by you, I mean you, the customer, are paying somebody else. No. That'll work. Come on. Ah, shoot. We don't have our healer either. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We've lost one of ours! I must remain focused.
This is gonna be rough. Okay. Heal myself. Okay. Heal. Healing touch again. I should go in front of him. I need to go behind him. What am I doing? There we go. Hey, Sybil, you okay? That's rough. Oh yeah, Grace, it does not actually do much to deter taking carts. Because if you want to buy a shopping cart, like realistically, that like 25 cents is a good deal.
For food?
It doesn't really incentivize people not taking them. What it really disincentivizes, is, if anything, is for people to actually return them. That's all. Damaged cavalry hatchet. It is better damage, but no, mace is better. Who about you? Daggers. Better. Ignoring shields, back damage bonus. No. Knives are better. This. No. Yeah, that's just way better. What about this armor? Relic armor of the Cardinal Father. Requires level 24. Yeah, there's a problem. Squire's coat. That looks so stupid. There we go. Yeah. No, you're right. It's not meant to disincentivize people just like straight up taking them away. Essentially stealing the carts. Because people do that all the time. It's unfortunately a common practice with especially homeless people. I'll take that. She looks better with that anyway. Because, I mean, quite frankly, homeless people can make good use of shopping carts. Certainly 25 cents worth. They can make a lot better use of a shopping cart than of a quarter. Certainly in this economy. So yeah, it doesn't typically disincentivize people just stealing the shopping carts. It does incentivize people under some circumstances, again, to bring them back. But it allows people to make the, like I said, the rational decision. Is it worth it to me to bring this cart back for 25 cents? And it's, oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding, we're running. Oh, God!
Let's show them what we're made
We're
of.
fleeing. I don't want to deal with that. No, thank you. It's fake.
Only a fool dares to attack the best.
No, I'm gonna have Sybil taunt. No, I'm not gonna have her taunt. I'm gonna what? Have Ludwig taunt. 3 of them. And will he have enough? Yeah, he'll have enough. Need to do it. Put he done over there. And then killing them. Heals. Heals. Okay. I'm gonna wait to teleport behind you. Oh wait. There we go. Woodsman's Hood, huh? Okay. All right. Well, that was interesting. Yes. Adds 2 to my mechanism checks. Excellent. Ooh, a gun! Wow, a gun! Here. Alright. No. No. Yeah. Ah, that's where the tactical orders go. Okay, I see. Alright, well, let's move on. Move along. Wait, did I hit a dead end? I hit a dead end. Shoot. What do you mean I can't go through here? Dang it. This way. I hear the violins. Who are we fighting? Those guys look menacing.
Just a little coin, please.
All these guys dying of Malachor. We've got doctors all over the place. New rings. Nice, nice, nice. Again, for Fausta.
My uncle really neglected this area. It's become a real rat's nest, full of the worst sort of vermin in town. You'd better stay on our guard, and keep an eye on your purse. The pickpockets are particularly good here.
If we keep smelling the roses along the way, our dear priest is going to end up dangling from an Alliance noose.
You're right. We need to be quick.
Alright, well, let's quicken our pace, shall we?
Hey, come and see. I have some interesting stuff.
Okay.
I have goods that you won't find anywhere else. Weapons and armor, but also some useful costumes. What do you think?
Yeah. Already have this. You don't actually have any of those. You lied to me. Princely jacket. The future governor of New Serene. Wait, really? Poland. There's the initial Constantin d'Orsay. Oh, I'm 100% buying that. And it's utterly useless, but I'm 100% buying it. Not utterly useless, but I don't need it in particular because it's not, I don't really use light armor, but I can.
I can get you anything you want.
Hey, buddy.
Just a small coin for a poor soul, my lords and ladies.
Gave you some.
If I may, you should watch your step around here. People from the Alliance are beating anyone who crosses their path.
It's allowed.
It would seem that they're after someone. Would you have enough to spare for a piece of bread? Hunger's got a nasty bite.
I did just give you 10 coins.
I'm going to tell you a story from my people to lighten the load of your worries.
Oh, now I love stories. If it's a good one, I'll tell it to my friends.
Once, long ago on Tir Fradi, there lived a young hunter. He was not only the best archer of his clan, but the best of the island. He became quite full of pride, and began to behave with the other youth of his village as if he walked on higher ground. One day, while he was about to shoot at a magnificent buck just for the pleasure of hitting his mark and not to feed his clan, he saw a very beautiful woman walk by him. So beautiful that he fell instantly in love. The beauty promised him love under one condition. Since he was so talented, she didn't want him to hunt a deer, but the moon itself. The hunter tried for days and days. He even crafted a new bow. He began to lose sleep and his appetite because all of his attempts failed. Exhausted and weak, he went to the beautiful woman again to admit his failure. She mocked him for his tremendous pride. Then she transformed into a doe and ran off in a few leaps. The hunter of the moon then understood that the person he'd loved was the spirit of the forest. From that day on, he became sensitive to the balance of life and became more generous to other young folk.
That is a beautiful story. Truly. I like it very much. I'm gonna have something to tell my friends, that's for sure. But we'll still have nothing to share to eat.
We'll be leaving.
Thank you again for your help.
I did give him some money, also. Hey, I leveled from the story. So, I first of all, that is perfectly appropriate for Vriden. Vriden is a Demigada. After all, he is a sage.
Why make us suffer like this?
It's his role within his society to talk to people and to teach and to guide in this kind of spiritualistic way. I like that. I like that.
Well, how about that? Islanders aren't so common around here. It's a pleasant surprise. Do you feel ill or hurt? Are you lost? What might I do for you?
Might you have crossed paths with a priest of Teleme? We heard he came here.
A priest? None of my visitors made themselves known as such.
No, that description doesn't ring any bells.
We didn't exactly get a
You
good
wouldn't be the
description.
man those soldiers from the Alliance are looking for. The ones who were just here.
The bastards. They're right on the heels of this priest. We need to find him as quickly as we can.
Yes, he is in great danger. Thank you, Doctor. We'll leave you to your patients.
Goodbye. We wish you well.
Okay, then. Well, let's move right along, shall we?
Sometimes I miss the hills of Teleme as well as the towers of Montorgo.
Good day. I am sorry to bother you, but we are looking for a friend. A priest of Teleme. You wouldn't happen to have seen him, would you?
Oh, looking rough.
Believe you me, if I knew a priest, I would already be kneeling beside him in search of some comfort.
I understand that our questions must seem a little out of place, but our friend might be in danger. Any information that you could give us might help us come to his aid and help him avoid the worst.
You seem to care a lot about him. Lucky man. At least he won't die alone. Abandoned by all. There is a man here that uses the magic of the Enlightened to heal the sick in the ruins. But I don't know if he is a priest or not. That said, you should hurry if you want to speak with him. A group of Alliance men are also looking for him, and they don't seem to have his best interests at heart.
My dear friends, we should hasten our step if we don't want to be delivering simply condolences to our Father Cardinal.
Let's go. Thanks so much for your help. I hope that you get better.
One can always dream.
That is rude, because that's... Like, I think we know, right, that the Malachor is incurable and fatal. Like, I think we know that, right? We've been told.
His days. You must feel blessed. I hope you're having a nice day.
Thank you. Aren't you a guard? Do you want to give me a hand, please? Probably not. Probably not gonna. Oh, God. Ah! I hate this. At least I have not broken my ankles in the process several times. Let's see. Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it off him. Don't need it. He doesn't actually need that, and I'm gonna need it from time to time, so. Go die in hell?
Our priest is in a bad situation. We need to intervene if we want him alive.
To arms!
The enemy is here!
Yeah, okay. Get them all. Ow, I've been gunned. Alright, he is... Then I need to heal myself real quick. Ludwig, you've also got to heal me real quick. And kill this guy. Whoa! Okay, Sybil, please teleport behind this guy. And then do that. Ludwig, taunt these three.
Armor is broken!
Yourself. Yeah, this is going rough. All right. I really should have. Oh shoot. Really should have picked up the fourth. Heal self and Sybil can healing potion. Touch this guy. Focus on that guy, shall we?
Now I'm going to have to buy some new armor.
Here he comes. He's gonna shoot me now. Shoot. Okay, down he goes. That guy.
Heal yourself. You won't last much longer.
Okay, you heal yourself, Ludwig. Oof, this is rough. Okay, I do not need to taunt. I need the opposite of that. Debuff tough guy there.
Someone heal me!
You taunt these two. I think I'm doing okay here. Ludwig. Play yourself. Sybil. Malblow. There we go. Okay.
Are you all right?
Woo! That was tough.
Who are you?
Oh,
do I get
he's
habits
very
of helping
sick.
strangers indeed, or do I have my charm to thank for your assistance?
He's very sick.
I'm sorry. Foolish joke. Thank you for helping me, but I think they got me. I feel weak.
Father Cardinal Pius sent us to help you. We're friends of Faustus.
Fausta. She never liked me, you know. But if the Father Cardinal sent you, you're too late.
You're not dead yet. We can take you to Pius.
I don't think I'd make it that far. But that's not important. You must find the coffer.
The coffer? What are you
Why
talking
can't I
about?
help?
A coffer containing
deny that.
documents. I stole it from people in the Alliance. I wanted to find out what they were up to.
And did you open it?
No, only the Father Cardinal must open it.
Okay.
And besides, I wouldn't have had the time. I was forced to hide it. in a sort of courtyard while they were pursuing me.
So our man of the cloth here, who is not at all a spy and is only here to spread the word of the enlightened in Peren, stole documents from the Alliance.
Hell yeah.
What a surprise! Well, after everything this nation has put us through, I can hardly blame him. And my curiosity is piqued when I try to imagine what those documents might contain.
In your shoes, I wouldn't do that. Find the coffer and give it to Pius. If you open it, he will be very angry. And he never forgets a grudge.
Where exactly did you drop the coffer?
In the northeastern part of the neighborhood. Where it's nearly crumbling into the river.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll try to find it. Your friend Irene helped us find you. She wrote you this letter.
My darling Irene. A ray of sunshine in my dying days. How is she?
Don't you worry about your friend. The Alliance wanted to capture her so they could get to you, but we got her to safety. She's safe and sound aboard a Naut ship where the Alliance goons can't lay a finger on her. It's our friend Alvida's ship.
Oh, you did the
Well, if he
right
needs to know all the details, but okay.
She's so sweet. She doesn't deserve any trouble on my account. I am very grateful that you've helped her. At least...
How did that help me with
I
the
can
Dutan
die
Empire?
in peace.
We'll look for the coffer and send you some help.
It's too late for that. The coffer is all that matters. Give my regards to Fausta and the Father Cardinal.
Stay with us, Giacomus.
May the Enlightened keep you. Protect the coffer.
He's dead.
I mean, look at him.
This does not sit easy with me. All these Alliance soldiers in Peren. Where do they think they are? When my uncle hears about this, he's going to have a fit. He is quite protective of his realm.
My uncle
Anyway,
hears about it.
We need to...
Huh? Mission order. On the General's orders, you must find that pesky priest who has been prying into our affairs. That deceitful lout may well be a spy for Thélème, and if that proves to be true, our entire plan risks falling apart. Plan. We might have been successful in tracking him down to the hospice in the old quarters of Peren. Please make haste. It appears that our enemies are also looking for him. We're the enemies!
Before those soldiers do.
Let's go back to the hospice quickly in the hope he'll be there.
So the priest we were supposed to find and save is dead. We have to find the famous coffer he told us about before he died. If we don't want all this to have been for naught.
You mentioned a courtyard in the northeastern part of the neighborhood, near the river. Let's go and take a look around, and cross our fingers a beggar didn't find it.
Okay. What did we pick up? That's heavy. That's light. Heavy, medium. Desert Kaftan is strictly worse. Medium. Princely Jacket. I'm super tempted by that. It's a lot worse than what I'm... Oh, much better magical deflection. And it's Constantins. And it's dear old Constantins. I don't like the look of that, though. I don't like how that looks on me. Adds to my life in much better armor, though. Man, it's so much better. I don't like it, but it's just really good. Is that actually better? No, it's not. That is. Way better. Ooh, and I can wear it now. Oh, yes, I can wear it now. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I mean, it's medium, but it's just strictly better, so I might as well. How about you? Giving his jacket to her would be just the most intense insult possible. I probably will, though. Alright. Nah, I'll do it. Oh! Yeah, thank you. I did not get to Baze's comment about Iceland. Yes. Yeah, we kind of left off last time talking about that. I kind of got lost. The question kind of got lost in me struggling not to die. Whoops. But no, it was okay. So for those not familiar, Iceland and Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, Denmark did something at least similar from my research. But at least, several of these various, Scandinavian countries have essentially eliminated Down syndrome. Now, how they've done that is heinous and tragic. Because they have essentially eliminated Down syndrome by eliminating people with Down syndrome. Which is heinous and disgusting. So essentially, what I'm talking about, right, is ooh, I can go 21. I can go above 20. I didn't think I could do that, but there we go. I have to walk back, don't I? But what they've essentially done is broadly socially encouraged, and very strongly encouraged through government policy, citizens, people in general, to abort children with various genetic and chromosomal disorders, such as, but not limited to, Down syndrome. Now, how they wind up doing this is deeply disturbing and untoward. I'm gonna fast travel. I can't fiddle with my party, can I? No, I guess not. So essentially what they've done is, because these Scandinavian countries have socialized medicine, what they do is they will offer to completely pay for an abortion and all care associated therewith. Yeah, like that. However, to the contrary, they will refuse to pay for any health services after, if you do not abort the child. They don't pay for the birth. They don't pay for any support for the child, anything like that. They're basically cut off from the monopoly government provider healthcare system, which is essentially mean, it's not quite a death sentence, but it's very close. You know, and it's an extreme level of soft power coercion. Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's an extreme level of soft power coercion, strongly incentivizing people to kill their disabled children before they're born. By essentially encouraging them to do so, paying people to do so. And if they refuse, then significantly and seriously, I will comfortably say punishing them. Is that it? Missioner's tunic. Yeah. So essentially, what they wind up doing, right, is oh, there it is.
Do you think this is the coffer Jacquemus was telling us about?
Eliminating the disorder
looks like it.
by killing off people with
that
it.
I have an
And
incredible
now,
urge to open
there
it
are
to see what
some.
is in it. I'm sure it's hiding all manner of villainous secrets that could prove
There's
themselves
some
very
people.
useful. Don't tell me none of you have an itch to know
Hold on.
more.
There's a chance the Father Cardinal won't appreciate that we opened the box Jacquemus did so much to get back.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, no, let's not.
Put it in our things. We'll give it to Pius when we see him.
Yeah, let's do that.
Halt! Sorry to interrupt you, but you're going to have to give us that coffer. And let me be clear, this is not a request.
You dare give me an order? To me? A de Vespe? Here in Peren? You've lost your mind or you're completely drunk.
Either you hand it over to us, or you will be reported to the authorities for theft. I doubt that the de Vespe family will appreciate that a savage and their companions have stolen from a diplomatic mission.
Did you miss that a de Vespe is standing immediately to my right, and it has just threatened you? Come on. Anyway, like I was saying, there is an argument to be made that some might make that this will at least have social or eugenic benefits. I mean eugenic, meaning that this will, by eliminating this segment of the population, or at least preventing them. Well, again, this argument only really works if you're willing to kill people to benefit the race, or if you think that abortion isn't murder. But if we accept either of those premises, which we shouldn't, but there are people who will, so people who accept one or both of those premises, will say that this will have long-term social benefits by reducing the net drag on society from non-productive people, but then also will have a long-term population level genetic effect by reducing the sort of pollution in the gene pool, so to speak, with these genetic disorders. Now, it doesn't actually do that. This is something that has really come to my mind recently, because I've been reading a few things about here and there about the actual eugenics programs in the early 20th century, which were world spanning. This wasn't just Nazi Germany thing. This was across the West. But there was a reason that they preferred sterilization to elimination, right? Because what they would essentially do is, when they found someone who was unfit, they'd be sterilized. And a lot of these programs would also sterilize their parents and immediate families, because they were genetic carriers. This program doesn't do that, right? These genetic disorders are, if anything, recessive. And so if you have, parents who have a child with Down syndrome who they kill, who the government entices them to kill, then the dead child's siblings will still carry those recessive genes and will not actually contribute positively to the elimination of the disorder. The only thing that is eliminating the disorder is eliminating the people with the disorder. That's all that's going on. It's not even having a sort of evolutionary effect. It's just mass murder of the disabled, which, in the 21st century, whether this is currently happening. And it's not even like this, they did this and now it's a success. Like, no, this is an ongoing program. Because it has to be an ongoing program, because there will continuously always be more people with various genetic and chromosomal disorders who would be a burden on society, so to speak. So it's not just well, let's get rid of this problem and then move forward. That would still be heinous, but at least it would have an endpoint. No, this is a continuous process of mass murder. So that's always fun. Always a good time when we as a society, or Western civilization, we as a civilization, I guess maybe, we think we're past these sorts of things, and then they just keep popping back up.
But you'd need to still be standing to complain to them.
You asked for this. To arms, my friends. Intruders.
There's a lot of them. Yell at them, please. Hit them all! The assassin next, I guess? Oh, God. That's not good. Damn it. Well, I've made a mistake. I don't have any revival powders either. Oh, I do have. Okay, we're good. I am hurt. Let's taunt everyone. Whoa! Alright. Ludwig. You're hurting bad. Okay. Damn it!
I must remain focused.
This guy.
At least I won't die at the end of the rope.
Shoot. We're having issues here, aren't we? Maybe I should run. Can I run? Can't taunt him out of AP. This guy. Yeah, let's try that. I'm moving there.
My armor is complete.
Oh, that was close.
Die at the end of the rope.
Okay, that one's down. All right, we're winning. We're starting to. The action economy is starting to swing in our direction. That's. I don't have any more potions, man. I don't have any more potions at all. Okay, yeah, this is very bad.
Order is broken.
He's down. There's nothing I can do. No, I don't have enough. Maybe if I knock one of them down and he doesn't have any AP, neither do I.
Careful, darling. We've lost one of ours.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. Okay. Am I gonna make this?
Remain focused.
Damn it! Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Damn it. Where did I... Oh, no. Where's my most recent save? When did it autosave? Oh, what the fuck are those? This is interesting. Yeah, alright, so... Yes. I don't remember these things being here. That was weird from an autosave. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna proper save right now. Our magic defenses are coming up. Our healths are healing very slowly. I'm gonna let that happen, shall I? Can't add a party member still, can I? Oh. All right. I wonder if we can just
Do you
run.
think this is the coffer Jacquemus was telling us about?
It looks like it. I have to admit that I haven't. I'm sure.
There's.
No.
Put it in a.
Halt! Sorry to it.
You
I.
But you.
You are. Sound the alert!
All right, let's see. We're gonna still all focus fire the Fusilier, except we're gonna taunt everybody. No, we're not gonna Dance of Steel. We're gonna what's this do? Deals a little bit of damage. That's nice. Just like that. Gonna reinforcement. Gonna words of support myself. Okay, this guy. She's gonna take out that guy. I'm gonna take out a bunch of these guys. You are gonna heal yourself, and then power sweep. You're not gonna be able to, but that's okay. You'll be fine. Okay, that one's dead. Alright, next, we gotta kill this one. And you've got to taunt again, I think. Knock down... same guy. Now, we don't have to taunt yet. They're all taunted. Can heal Sybil, and Sybil can Roar of Death. Weaken. Who do we have? The Assassin, I guess, yeah? Reapply power.
Careful, darling. You look.
Ludwig is gonna heal and then taunt again. Sybil. I'll blow you out of AP completely. That's fine.
I'm wounded. Someone heal me.
That's fine. He still has power for a few seconds. I'll blow. Hands of Steel. Kill himself. Okay, I'm actually managing. I think I'm doing it this time. We're doing okay. Vriden, go behind this guy. Backstab the hell out of him. Knock him over. No, I don't need to. I can just finish him off perfectly fine. Sharpened Saber. Got his shields a little bit. Right, we're ganging up on this guy now. I think we're okay. There we go. All right. Whoo! That was tough.
Would you like to continue wandering about these vile boroughs, or may we return to the embassy?
I like your idea.
Let's head down to the embassy.
All right. Let's continue our plot. There is one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is a little Twitter snafu I got into, which was quite frankly very silly, but it's one I get into a lot. The general's orders must find that pesky priest who's been prying into our affairs. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know that. We saw. Yeah, that one. Okay. Before we go in that case, I'll yap about it just a little bit. So, I was in the comments, or the replies, I guess I should say, it's Twitter, to Oren McIntyre. So if you're familiar with Oren McIntyre, he's a presenter on the Blaze. With the Blaze, I don't know. He's got a YouTube show, podcast type thing. With the Blaze, he's a former school teacher. He knows his stuff in terms of early modern political theory, especially. That's his sort of area of specialization. He knows. I think particularly his focus is on Machiavelli, although I'm not completely sure of that. I'm not completely sure of that, partially because his interpretation of Machiavelli is very idiosyncratic, very atypical, outside the academic norm. He basically takes Machiavelli to be completely honest, upfront, wholehearted, and serious, not in any way satirical or as a kind of admonition to princes kind of thing, as part of that long historical tradition going back to the Roman Republic. But I digress. He pointed out something, or he made a claim on Twitter that actually, you know what? Let me just pull it up real quick so I don't get it wrong. I don't want to get it. I want to try and get it as. I want to be as charitable as possible. So he says that, quote, Plato and Aristotle were discussing the politics of the city. Machiavelli had a project of unifying Italy to compete with larger kingdoms. We must consider the scale, that scale matters when we discuss politics, and that certain forms have natural limits we would rather not acknowledge. And so some of my replies here, I was essentially asking both him and others whether politics ought or ought not to be constrained by ethics. He responded to me there, to that question. I said, I'm explaining that systems have limits, and Plato and Aristotle were discussing the virtuous life necessary for small-scale republican government. There is an impersonal cruelty required to rule massive empires. If you believe ethics should be a primary concern in politics, you should factor that into your ambition. And so you can take that one of two ways. Right? You take what he says there in one of two ways. Either the charitable way, I think, which is that if you want to be constrained by ethics, which you do, right? In order to be concerned with ethics, you have to constrain your political ambitions to the particular and the local and the small scale. And that anything beyond that, anything at the national or imperial or even, frankly, even state level, either state in terms of like United States or state in terms of state power, like states, countries, nation states, that to attempt anything political at that scale is necessarily going to be unethical. Now, I take that as completely correct. However, there were a bunch of reply guys in the comments there going after me saying, well, no, ethics only applies to our people, to the in-group, to our polis. And cruelty does not ethically matter to outsiders, to the outgroups, to foreigners. And that ethics really only applies within the polis. Which is certainly not in Plato, certainly not in Aristotle. In fact, Plato very specifically argues to the contrary, particularly in the early books of the Republic, that our obligations under justice are universal. That there is a universal aspect to our obligations under justice, let's put it that way. But this idea seems to be that, well, ethics should not constrain our political ambitions, because in order to have political ambitions beyond a certain local level, one must simply disregard ethics. Okay, well, I mean, I can take the modus tollens to that and say, well, then we should not have political ambitions that go beyond the local community, right? Because the polis, the idea of the polis, was that the largest coherent political unit for somebody like Aristotle, any of the classical Greeks, but Aristotle in particular, the largest possible political unit is as big as is a group of people that you can feasibly personally know, at least as acquaintances. If ever there is somebody in your political community that you do not recognize, then your community is too big. In that sense, most universities would be too large in terms of political units for Aristotle. They would be ungovernable, which I think is correct, largely speaking. Now, maybe technology can abet that somewhat, but not entirely. And to do so risks dehumanization to a great degree, which is exactly the concern here. Right? Again, what we really find, and what really concerns me about all this, is this idea that politics is beyond the realm of ethics. Whereas I've always argued that politics, right, the science of politics, is completely reducible to the intersection between ethics and economics. And I mean economics qua praxeology, the study of human behavior at scale. Right? How humans act towards ends in a social context. That's what I mean by economics, but that's the Austrian definition of economics. Right? The thing, though, is that economics, understood that way, is wertfrei. It's value free. It does not prescribe or prescribe ends. It only says it only analyzes how it is that people pursue the ends that they have chosen rationally. Now, if you combine that with ethics to say what ends one ought to pursue and what means of pursuing those ends are just and what are not, then what you wind up having is politics. That's what the science of politics is about. It's about ethically organizing or coordinating the ends of the people in a given society. That's what politics means. It seems, however, that we have a large contingent, at least a significant contingent, probably not large, but a significant contingent, on the sort of reactionary right, as typified by by people like Aaron McIntyre and a lot of the people in his Twitter replies who deny that and are strict localists or tribalists or something with respect to ethics. That ethical concerns do not extend beyond a certain political reach. And that politics is independent from ethical concerns. And that it really is simply a matter of, I can't even say the ends justifying the means, because it goes further than that. That it doesn't even justify the means. The means don't come into consideration at all. The ends are all that matters. They don't justify the means. The means don't need to be justified on this view. Which is just a rejection of ethics entirely. Which is really a disturbing way of looking at the world, especially about politics, but perhaps it's a realistic way of looking at politics. But again, the argument for that is, the counter-argument there is that, yes, if that's if that is in fact a realistic way of looking at politics, then politics is intrinsically unethical. Which is, again, that's the sort of Rothbardian point, strictly, really. Particularly beyond a certain local organizational structure that can be maintained voluntarily through interpersonal relationships. Beyond that, if you start needing bureaucratic structures, which, by the way, this is another thing that McIntyre is kind of obsessed with, is the bureaucratic state, decrying it. That if you need these bureaucratic structures, which you do almost necessarily for anything beyond, like I said, something like a polis, something where you can personally know, at least by acquaintance, everyone in your political community. If you go beyond that, you need these bureaucratic institutions that McIntyre argues relatively successfully at times, that these will necessarily be captured by sinister forces. Whether those sinister forces are human or are sort of metahuman. But by metahuman, I just mean what postmoderns and materialists would call systemic, but what classical and coherently thinking people would call powers and principalities. Demons, essentially. Anyway, let's wrap this up, shall we? By the way, the thumbnail, if you're wondering why there is a cardinal, and not this cardinal, the hint is on the Twitter announcement. That given that this here is our the delegate from Thélème to the Congregation of Merchants, or at least this faction of the Congregation of Merchants, I decided to throw on our thumbnail the Vatican envoy to the United States, which is a fairly close analogy to the Congregation of Merchants. Then again, Congregation is a little bit more like I don't know, maybe the Imperial Dutch? Maybe the English, but maybe the Dutch. Anyway, let's wrap this up, shall we?
I regret to inform you that Jacquemus, your priest, died from the wounds the men from the Alliance gave him.
May the Malachor take them. Poor Jacquemus. I will miss him.
I mean, the Malachor would have taken him too,
you
regardless.
Discovered he was meant to recover important documents from the Alliance?
Yes. Why did you let us think that Jacquemus was a simple priest when you knew that he had embarked upon a perilous mission?
Even though I suspected that Jacquemus was in trouble, I never once thought his very life would be in danger.
Oh, come on.
I had suspected it would be enough to simply put you on his trail, without implicating you in the political affairs of Thélème. I wasn't sure which way your feelings bent towards my nation.
All right, Erica, if you're stepping in again, if you're popping in again, can I do this with my beard long term?
One of you even belongs to
my
the
mustache
Alliance.
doesn't do that, unfortunately.
At the time, I thought it would be better to not tell you too much. But that was a mistake, and
can I do
am
that?
Sorry. The subject is closed. Did you recover the documents Jackamus was seeking?
Yes. Here is the coffer that he stole. We were able to recover it from where he had hidden it.
Thank you. You have rendered me an immense service. Thanks to the contents of the coffer, we should be able to put a halt to the Alliance's intrigues. Your help has proven itself valuable. So in order to prove my gratitude, and to make amends for my guilty silence, I've requested that a Fowler join your group with a supply of messenger birds. This will allow you to send and receive messages with the continent without risking the public aviaries.
I must admit that I'm a little surprised. Did Captain Alvida give her permission?
Of course. And believe me, you will soon come to appreciate the freedom offered by these feathered messengers. It goes without saying that I would be delighted to vouch for you, if you still want to meet the two great families of the congregation. You've done me an admirable service. I will not forget it.
Your recommendation would indeed be very helpful.
Consider it done. I will immediately send letters to the De Vesps and the Dorsays to inform them.
We shall leave,
nice.
Your Excellency.
May the Enlightened watch over you, my children.
Pass for the De Vesp Palace. A note written inside by Cardinal Pius attesting the person and their companions holding this document have access to the De Vesp Palace and are under his responsibility. Very nice. Alright, where's Fausta? Where is Fausta? Is she joining back up with us?
Creatures on your island? I can't believe it.
We don't worship them. We sort of become them. Because we worship the land. It's also kind of weird, but whatever. Let's see. Why do we not have Fausta in the party? Let's go back to the ship. Yeah, those fights without our primary healer were, quite frankly, kind of rough. Punish supplies, please. Alvida's got something for us. Where in the world? Fausta. Milan has got a quest for us, because of course he does. We already knew that. There you are, Fausta. Alright, let's have a chat with her, shall we?
Do you have a minute? There's something I would like to talk to you about.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I've heard my brother is in Peren.
Oh.
As you know, I was banished from Thélème, and my whole family paid the price. Especially my brother. I know he's still very angry with me, even after all this time. I'd like to see him again. And I'd like you to come with me, if you don't mind. I feel like I'd be brave enough to face him with you by my side. What do you say?
Yeah, sure.
I'd be happy to come.
Thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. He's probably staying in the missionary's guest house in the city. That's where we will have the best chance of finding him. Let's go, before my courage runs out.
We'll do that next time.
Do you know how we are going to meet that friend you spoke about? Zerrin?
I think so. I sent her a message while we were still in Euxantis to tell her that we had arrived. I said that we would return to Alima.
Oh, in Alima,
and that
okay.
we would most assuredly be in need of her help. When we arrived, I went to the port aviary to see if we had received a message. We had indeed. She apparently has some very important matters to reveal to us
Okay.
that merit secrecy. She's asked to meet us in one of the warehouses near the port. A place, she says, is connected to our current matter at hand.
A warehouse? There must be dozens of them in the port. Did she give us any directions?
She said that it's a warehouse found in the Nort confines. A private warehouse, sometimes used by her husband's followers. It should have their coat of arms on the door. A crowned golden eagle, holding swords in its talons, on a purple field. A tad gaudy, I know.
That is very extravagant.
It's my pleasure.
Alright, so cool. We're gonna do a personal quest for Fausta next time. Ludwig's got more personal quest stuff to do because we finished his last stuff and we wandered about a little bit into the main plot. So yeah, we got a lot more companion quests to do. Constantly, I guess. Man, okay. Alright. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do next week, because it is it's after 11:30. I'm a little tired, and this is, I think, is actually no. I was going to say this is as good a chance as any to wrap up, but no, we have to do some weapon modification, and we gotta mod some stuff, don't we? Actually, hold on. Can I craft better? Oh wait, no, hold on. Ooh. Inquisitor's Cloak gives 2 stealth. That's nice. Take off this cloak. Might need it. I don't right now, but I might at some point. Alright, craft. I already have those. I need higher level craftsmanship, don't I? Darn, okay, never mind, whatever. Upgrades. I'll use that. I'll equip that onto him. That's fine. All this is fine. Let's see. Dang. Resistance to weakness, yeah. Alright, that's that. Recipes. Pull up on those. Need my alchemy cloak. Rage potion. Survival. Darn. Yeah, that doesn't help. Okay. Alright, that'll work. Let's switch. Look at the Empire. Inquisitor. Keep that for its diplomacy. I will level everybody up later. I'm gonna call it a night there. So, that should about do. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I had a good time. I really thought that quest would not take the whole night, but hey, that works. Now the thumbnail's thematic. So, thanks for joining me. I'll be back on either Monday or Wednesday for more Fable 3, and then I will be back again on either Wednesday or Friday, probably Friday, for more Greedfall 2. Keep an eye out. I may or may not have time this weekend to get an episode of the stupid little podcast out. If not, then expect one next week. Expect those to be coming. I have a lot of episodes that are planned and none of them recorded, so I'll find some time to do some of that. So, thanks again. If you want to help encourage me to get that done a little bit faster, a little bit sooner, I always appreciate a little bit of a donation over there at ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. That is the best place to do that. Though I do also at this point have YouTube memberships. I have super chats, super thanks, all that super YouTube stuff. I will say though, if all things are equal to you, Ko-fi gets me the biggest cut. Ko-fi takes no cut at all. It's just through PayPal as a processor. So that's the best place. If you're going to help me out to donate a little bit to the channel, you're getting something from this, then I appreciate it if you pay something back to me, that's all. That said, welcome to whatever method that you'd like. Otherwise, though, have a wonderful evening. See you guys next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe, be well, more importantly, be good. Night, folks.